Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, heard Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on PSAcard.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines are brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappola and Rico Petrocelli.
All right, here's the hack for tonight. You ready, Louie?
Yes.
Joe, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first of all, Rico's not here tonight. We gave Rico the night off because Rico, he busted his butt helping us with the great Jimmy Fund fundraiser.
How come I didn't get the night off?
Because, you know something, Lou? I got you a goddamn bottle of Knobs. What's that called? What's that stuff called? Knobs Creek?
Knob Creek.
Knobs Creek. All right, so, you know,
Boone's Farm.
You drank the whole thing, so...
I didn't. I only got halfway through, and I couldn't fly it back. So my roommates in Florida
Listen to this one.
Got half a bottle.
Lou rents a house down here, right? Beautiful home. But he flew down for the Jimmy Fund. Tell him what was in... You had a harp. You had a harp in there, right?
Had a baby grand piano.
And a harp.
And a harp, and more importantly, a hot tub on the Intercoastal.
So he drank a half a bottle of Knobs Creek naked in the hot tub.
It was 2 nights.
Right. Did you or did you not do that?
I did. I exactly did that.
All right, listen. Here's our headline. We had a headline, but I'm blowing the headline off. Here's the headline. Major hack. I repeat, major hack. It is 3/13/2019.
That's your Twitter handle, isn't it?
6:08 p.m. And evidently, Facebook has gotten hacked worldwide. However, the Great American Collectibles Show with crack producer Lou Blasi and the hackers that we hired.
Don't get too cocky.
Okay. We have people on the payroll that, work underground. We're at least being able, hopefully, to send the audio portion of this out on Boston Radio. PSA Radio, PSA card/radio is going to be able to pick up the feed so you can hear the audio. And then the video will be broadcast tomorrow night when they catch the hackers. Now, according to Mr. Lou Blasi's theory, who's the hacker, Lou?
AOC. Yeah.
AOC is the hacker.
Took it down.
AOC is the hacker. So anyway,
she has a problem with successful businesses. So.
It's a crazy night. And by the way, once you see the video, we are not at Beef O'Brady's, but we are at the Zappola condo compound in beautiful North Palm Beach, Florida. Beautiful I gave Rico the night off. I didn't feel like traveling, so guess what? We're broadcasting out of my condo. But for our viewers and our listeners, and we're not going to be able to see you tonight, but you can answer the question, and when you answer the question, you're going to win. We do have a trivia question. So as soon as I can, hold on, let me do this. 1031.
Tom's going to give you his personal phone number. So
yeah, there you go. That's what we should do.
No, that's not happening. Because that is definitely not happening. All right, so here's the trivia question.
You like talking on the phone?
No, it's not happening, I said. Here is the trivia question. By the way, here's what you're going to win. I'm going to hold this up. Last week we did the Jimmy Fund, and Joe was a big help. The Jimmy Fund telethon, radiothon, trying to raise money for Kids for Cancer. And by the way, we are going to hit $24,000. We have one official Great American Collectibles T-shirt, staff T-shirt left with the Jimmy Fund logo on it. So here's the trivia question.
That's the first volume too, right?
Thank you. Yeah. First edition.
Yeah.
All right, this player, this 1952 Topps player, was 0-2 lifetime as a pitcher. So pretty much he sucked. Yeah. However, he taught and coached.
There's only 2 games under 500.
That's a good point. He taught and coached in the San Francisco public school system for 30 years. And when he was renowned, he was just a very, very, very popular teacher coach in the San Francisco school district, won all kinds of awards. Who was he? He's a 1952 Topps player. You guess it, you win the T-shirt.
How long did his career span? From what?
I lost interest by the end of the question.
Wait a minute. His teaching career?
No, his baseball career.
2 years.
That was it. 2 years.
No, 1 year.
So he made the 52 tops.
That was it. 1 year. 0-2. Sucked.
Okay.
He sucked.
So he didn't make the 53 tops.
No. He was out of baseball by then. All right. Anyways, before we bring Brent in, I think we got a good show tonight. If we can contact everybody because of this hack. We've got Brent Huigens, the president of PWCC Marketplace. Brent is doing absolutely crazy, magnificent things. We're going to talk to Brent for a while. Then we have Al Crisafulli, Al from Love of the Game Auctions. He's going to spend 5 or 6 minutes with us talking about his auction that's coming up in May. And then our good friend, who we love, Josh Leland Evans from Leland's. Josh is going to come on with us for about 5 minutes in the second half of the show. We throw anything at Josh, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. But listen, real quickly, before we bring Brent in. Number one, Brent, are you there? Is Brent there?
Yes.
Brent? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, hi,
Can you
Brent.
hear me?
All right, before we speak to Brent, I want to personally thank you. You made a wonderful donation to our Jimmy Fund radiothon / telethon, raising money to help stamp out kids' cancer. And thank you so much. That was wonderful. And
Well, I didn't approve that. My wife did that. If I'd known, believe me,
well,
it would have been a different thing.
It was great. Thank you so much to both of you guys. We had a wonderful event. I want to thank every one of our
Good for you guys.
sponsors. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank our listeners. I want to thank our viewers. But I want to let you know that our eBay Live charity auction ends tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. As a matter of fact, some of the items have already ended, but there is still some great items that you can bid on at the last minute. We've got a Ty Cobb signed check. We've got memorabilia that was donated to us by the Ted Williams Museum. We have one of Ted Williams is in the Fishing Hall of Fame.
Right. Got his fishing
Joe.
pole.
Right. And we have one of Ted Williams' personal fishing rods. We have a personal bat of Ted Williams. We have Nolan Ryan took it upon himself to send us a Nolan Ryan rookie card signed by him specifically for the Jimmy Fund auction.
Part of his personal
Yeah,
collection.
some great stuff. We got some great Celtics memorabilia. Red Sox sent us 24 signed baseballs by various Red Sox players. David Price sent us not a game use, but a signed David Price jersey.
Even race cars. Dale Earnhardt.
Dale Earnhardt sent us
That's great.
a signed Dale Hart little
model
miniature model car signed by Dale Earnhardt Jr. All kinds of really neat stuff. Boston Celtics stuff.
Boston Celtics.
So if
you got a football signed by
Emmett Smith, we have the helmet's already gone.
Yeah, that's
the Eddie George
But
helmet.
you know who you forgot to thank?
What?
If there is? Boston's on the beach.
Boston's on the beach.
What a great job.
Yeah, the venue in Delray Beach, Florida. They're the largest Boston-based restaurant / sports bar. Place is gigantic. They opened their arms up to us, and we held the event there. Rico and I, and Joe was with us, and Rick Snyder from Mint State. We had Tony DeMarco, former welterweight champ. He was there. The place was jammed. Louis was there. Lou flew down with us to produce the show, thank God, because I would have really screwed it up. And it was just a wonderful event.
Everybody had
If
a
you
great
want to make a final bid, instead of having to go to eBay, just go to our website, TomZappalaMedia.com. TomZappalaMedia.com. I know this show is going to be video tomorrow night, but for our listeners, go to TomZappalaMedia.com, and if you're interested in putting a final bid in, then go for it. But thank you so much to all of you. We worked real hard at this. Thanks to the Jimmy Fund, thanks to the Red Sox, thanks to the Ted Williams Museum, thanks to all of our great sponsors, thanks to the people at Boston's on the Beach, thanks to all the volunteers. We had a crew of 17 or 18 people working the event for us. It was just fabulous. So thank you all so much, and I appreciate it. With that being said, let's get on. Brent, the vault is going to open. Tell us about it. This is huge.
Yeah, so it's been this labor of love. Started as an idea, maybe 2016 time frame. and it's taken us 2 years to kind of put together how to actually accomplish what this vision was. But the idea is that we need to provide investors better services if they're going to participate in the trading card marketplace. And one of the core things that investors need is a central repository where these high-valued assets can be archived and digitally shared for posterity, but also for business in order to transact. And having a central repository where everything's properly insured and stored really enables people to not have to store what would otherwise be many tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of assets at their home, let's say. Even safety deposit boxes aren't really that efficient because they aren't made to store trading cards, and it's not like you have access to them there either, and they aren't digitally archived, and they're not liquid, and you can't move them. And it's just there was no good solution available, and we noticed it really holding up the marketplace. So we invested in this idea of opening up a repository that's been about a year and a half now in the works, but we literally bought a piece of dirt in a very secluded part of our area here in Oregon. It's got natural barriers all around it. We don't share walls with any other buildings. You can't even really see the building from the road. And from there, we are building a 15,000 square foot usable facility, which at the core of it is a 2,000 square foot state-of-the-art vault that you would make like at a bank. It's what's called a Class 3 UL rated vault. It's just a state-of-the-art, piece of equipment that is made to store high-value assets. It's like the design of this thing is just incredible because the panels that it's made out of are meant to deflect like a blowtorch or dynamite or a sledgehammer or anything else for up to 3 hours in terms of what it would take for somebody to try to make a hole in this thing. It's just a bunker that's designed by the best security people, and it's rated in this UL fashion, which is a standard that is overseen and has ratings associated with it. So we're just really excited because what we've built is something that's truly state-of-the-art that rivals any other repository in the world for any other type of asset class, be it anything from diamonds to fine art. We've built something that in honor of this trading card space is worthy of what we think trading cards are today, but will become into the future. And so this whole thing goes live to the public in May. May 1st, we're going to open the doors to collections for the first time. Okay. And, it's just going to be hopefully a momentous time, at least for us. We know it'll be.
It sounds great. Brent, in addition to just storage of the, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Brent, in addition to the storage of the cards, do you act as a broker? Say I want to sell my card, and your card is in your vault. I'm in New York.
Yeah.
Do you act as a broker?
Right. So the fallout, once we have items in archival, great things can happen. The reason why people put stuff in archive is it can be traditional reasons like insurance and storage, and some people for estate planning need things in a third-party location where things are appraised and whatnot. But really for people who are investors and dealers and collectors, the power really starts from there onward. So because we have your items in archive, we can now place them on our marketplaces at any time without delay. So if you want to auction something, it's very easy to do that. If you want to buy from our auction or any other auction and ship to your vault account, you can do that. Mind you, we reside in the state of Oregon, which has no sales tax. So when you buy from any venue and ship to your vault account, sales tax will never apply. Okay. And then on top of that, once the stuff's in archive, we are opening up a new marketplace, which we're calling the Vault Marketplace. And that's a retail space where items that are in the vault are available to the public for one-to-one transactions, not in an auction format. You can also, because you have digital access to your entire portfolio, you can share those assets with anyone you want. So, like, if you're a dealer, your inventory will be archived with us. It doesn't prevent you from creating slideshows or individual cards that you want to share digitally with a prospective buyer. And if deals are done, you just notify the vault that you need us to ship it out, and we act as a fulfillment center at that point.
All right.
It's meant to monetize the marketplace.
All right, so let's hypothetically, I have an investment group I put together, and there's 5 of us, and we buy a $1 million Honus Wagner card or whatever. And we all agree that we need to get that to the vault. So we buy the card, we sent it to a PWCC marketplace, it goes into the vault. So you're take us through the process there. So in other words, we have access, obviously we have access to the card, we have video access to the card. If we want to sell the card, do you handle that whole transaction for us?
To whatever degree you want. So let's say, Tom, that you have and that's a really interesting analogy you just had, or scenario, I should say, where, say, you and Lou get together and say, you're like, well, Lou, I only have X amount of dollars, and Lou says, well, I only have X amount of dollars, but you guys both want to share in the ownership of something.
Exactly.
Having a third-party repository where it can be stored is a really interesting advantage, and then what you do is you just create a vault account under both your names, and then you guys can share the login. But once that asset is in our possession, we'll digitally archive it, so you'll have access to what is world-class digital photography. These cards are being photographed with technology that we've developed in-house that is second to none. The cards, the detail that you'll see on the cards is better than if you held it in your hand. It's equivalent to what you'd see under a 10x loop, and it's all provided digitally so that you don't have to hold it anymore. You can basically get the experience of a looped card. You can see that the little individual fibers at the edge of the card, you can focus down to that level if you want.
That's wild.
And then with that, you're basically able to now do a host of things. You can just leave it in archives, and it'll be appraised, so you'll know kind of what the market value is, and it's insured automatically, and it can just sit there. Or if you have a friend, let's say Joe wants to buy it, and you basically send Joe a link through text or through email, and he can click on the link, and it'll open an image of that card where you've written a private note. It could be, hey, Joe, you're gloating because you said I'd never own this, and look, now I do, and blah, blah, blah. Or it could be, hey, Joe, I want $1,000 for this asset. If you're interested, let me know. Regardless, you're able to share and do deals and whatever you want, and that's all your business. We don't charge fees for that. If you do a sale, we're just giving you a thumbs up saying congratulations. You might then say, hey, put that in Joe's vault account now because we've moved ownership. Or you might say, hey, Joe wants that. Please ship it to him. We don't care. We're just a fulfillment center for you at that point.
All right, what about the
next option?
Go ahead,
the next option is that you can basically take that asset and put it on the vault marketplace, which is basically you put it out there with an asking price or no asking price, and you let the public make offers. Or the third option is you put it at auction if you want to sell it. If you're in the point where, okay, I need to liquidize this and get my cash out of it, you can send it to auction and sell it that way.
And you're holding the card all this time.
Say that again?
I said you're holding the card while all of this
We will take
is
care of
going.
all of it for you. So that all you have to do is manage your assets digitally, but we will act as your storage and shipping and anything else that you might need. The fourth thing is lending. So we have a whole lending arm, which is now opening up as well to reference the fact that you have assets in storage with us which have market value, and we'll lend against it if you ever need purchasing power to do another deal someplace else out in the world.
What
so
about
because
the
you have
insurance
cards in
part of it?
storage, you basically have a line of credit with us.
Brent, what about the insurance component? Is it up to the individual to get his own insurance, or do you offer, or do you have something worked out with an insurance company?
It's all worked out with fully insured. We actually are working with the same group that insures their assets with the Baseball Hall of Fame. So the Baseball Hall of Fame, the people who insure them, they insure us. And so we have the grounds to have insurance into the hundreds of millions of dollars if we need. And so everything in archive with us is automatically insured through our policies. Another thing worth mentioning, which is I don't know if it's been made public yet, but I can announce it here, is we are partnering with the Baseball Hall of Fame for their new, what they call Shoebox Treasures, which is a new wing which is opening up at the Baseball Hall of Fame to display only trading cards.
Wow.
And so we are one of their title sponsors, so that overwhelmingly the majority of cards on display in that new wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame will be supplied by the PWCC vault.
Awesome.
And so if you want items that are of particular high profile displayed at the Hall of Fame, you can go through us to have that accomplished. And we will be, supplying the Hall of Fame with those assets so that they can kind of keep things fresh on a 6-month or a year turn for the general public, and we expect to be able to put some of the most impressive, highest-profile cards in the world on display there so that the public can enjoy them as well.
Okay. Brent, what determines the fee to store my card? Is it a percentage of the value of the
That's a good
card?
point. Good question.
How do we know
so
how much it costs?
the fees are designed. I want to be really clear. The fees are not designed to be profitable for us per se. We want our costs covered, and that's about what they accomplish. It's meant to be very, very affordable.
Why? What is the reason for that?
Because we're invested in the growth of the marketplace, and this is a core service that's needed on the marketplace in order for investors to participate. I own the largest auction house in the world for these assets. So my investment is in the growth of trading cards as an asset class. I'm invested in these new tools because this is going to help accomplish that. So the vault, the way the fees break down, it's very affordable. We charge a 1% archival fee, which means that based on the conservative market value, we will charge you 1% of that to have it ingested. There is a cap on that of $100. So we will never charge you more than $100 per asset to have it archived 1%. Now, on top of that 1%, for the first year's storage, you're going to be charged a 0.5%. Every year after the first year is 1/4 of 1%, and that's it.
Crazy.
That's great.
And that includes all of the services I described, plus the insurance that comes inherent to it. The fees that we're charging are equal or less than what you would pay for insurance at your home for just insurance.
Wow.
Sounds great.
We are chatting with Brent Huigens from PWCC Marketplace. We're going to take a quick break. Our time is a little off because of this wonderful Facebook worldwide hack. So we came on the air a little late. But we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to chat for a moment with Al Crisafulli from Love of the Game Auctions. And then we're going to come back to Brent. We got a lot of questions. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Since 1996, Brian Brent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
Hi everyone, I'm Rico Petrocelli, and I'm very excited to talk to you about our new partner, Panini America. Panini America is the world leader in licensed sports and entertainment collectibles, and we're proud to have them as the official trading card of the Great American Collectibles Show. When it comes to modern trading cards of your favorite players, Panini America leads the way in terms of innovation, design, creativity, value, and fun. From landmark brands such as Donruss, Prism, and Contenders to high-end juggernauts like Flawless, National Treasures, and Immaculate, Panini America delivers the hottest trading cards of the biggest names in the NBA, NFL, MLB, PA, NASCAR, soccer, and college. When you want to collect the best, collect Panini America. Ask for it at your local hobby shop or at mass retailers like Target and Walmart. And you can always find Panini America online at icollectpanini.com. Panini America, who do you collect? How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Okay, we are back. Is Big Al there, Louie boy?
Yes, he is.
Hey, Al.
Gentlemen.
Al, do you realize that you are on the Great American Collectibles Show on a very historic night?
I broke the whole Facebook.
It was because of you. I was going to say that. It was because of you. The whole goddamn Facebook across the world went down.
They didn't want to hear me. They pulled the plug.
Is that what it was? They were just.
Think so.
They said, "Oh Jesus, Crisafulli's on tonight. Let's shut it down." Anyway, just to let you know that we're still on radio. We're on PSA radio, and Lou is taping the show, so it'll be aired the next day or two. So
Excellent.
We're still gonna hear your melodious voice. Hey, listen,
How
say
you guys
hi.
doing?
Yeah, good. I gave Rico the night off. Rico is a little burnt out from last week. I said, take the night off. And sitting in with me tonight is a really dear friend of mine, Staten Island Joe Marino,
Hey, how you
another
doing,
New
Al?
York freak.
New York.
Another New York
Can't see it.
Yankees freak.
I got my Yankees.
Rico was
Nice
burnt
to have
out by
another
eating
Yankees
fried
guy.
fish. Is that,
Say that again, Louis?
Rico was burnt out by eating fried fish
By
for 2
eating
or 3
fried
days in
and
a row.
calamari, and the calamari, right?
He had a tough gig.
I tell you, it really was. All right, Al, you got a great auction coming up. Tell us about
do.
it. Well, first of all, tell us about your last auction ended when?
Last auction ended in November.
And that was a very successful auction.
Yeah, that was a real solid one. And while we were putting that auction together, we got a call from a guy who's a longtime collector of autographs who had built a really an awesome collection of signed cards, mostly from the 50s, but also some from the 40s and the 30s, and he can sign the entire collection. And so that is going to be offered partially in this next auction, partially in the one after, because there's thousands and thousands of cards, and they're great.
Can you give us a couple of highlights?
Well, yeah, sure. It's an interesting collection because he's got probably my favorite card that he's got is a signed 1950 Bowman Jackie Robinson.
Wow.
He's got a couple of a real nice 1941 play ball Ted Williams that he had done in person. The signature came back in 9. It's a beautiful ballpoint signature, and the card itself is a 6, so it's a real clean card. But I think what's most interesting about the collection is not the superstar cards; it's the really tough commons from the 50s that stuff you just don't see, and players who died early, players who just didn't get a lot of requests for autographs and sort of faded away. And it's a pretty comprehensive collection. So it's pretty exciting, and I know hardcore autograph guys are going to love it because there's so many just tough names from just obscure players.
Do you have a lot of 52 tops?
I have some 52 tops, but what's interesting is that this collector, he was chasing after the Bowman cards.
Really?
So he's got. There's a 300 and some odd 1958 tops. He's got a lot of 57s and all that, but he's got a lot of Bowmans. I think hundreds and hundreds of 52 Bowmans and 51 Bowmans as well. But he had some Goudies and some play balls. I mean, I think we sent 600 cards into PSA. Just
and he has
start.
Some blank cards too. They're just like postcards and all, or just all.
No, they're all baseball cards.
All baseball cards.
It was really interesting because this gentleman collected in the 70s and the 80s when nobody collected signed baseball cards. You know, it was considered bad back then to have an autograph on a baseball card. It ruined the condition of the card. And I think, you know, what's happened over the last, 4 or 5 years is that people have started to understand the scarcity of signed vintage cards as a result of that. So, you know, trying to find some of these guys is not an easy thing. You know, I had a large collection of signed 52 tops that I sold a couple of years ago, and some of the commons were selling for $4,000 or $5,000. You know, cards that you can get for $10. Wow. So you know, unsigned. So.
Does he ever signed Roy Campanella pre-accident?
There was no Campanella, so it was really interesting. You know, the sets or the collection was heavily weighted towards. You know, some of these more obscure guys. There are some Hall of Famers in there. There's some Aarons and some Koufax and people like that. There's the Jackie Robinson I told you about. There's some, you know, some more minor Hall of Famers from the play ball and Gowdy sets. But what's really interesting about the collection is, you know, just how many obscure commons there are.
Hey, Al, you know, you're kind of, I mean, if you look at the whole industry and the auction houses that are out there, you're really kind of one of the newbies, one of the new kids on the block, and you have really established yourself as a really solid auction house. Was it tough? Was it tough at the beginning, being able to get
it's tough now?
Real, still, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I found that you know, one of the things that was great is that when I first started, I had a lot of friends who were happy to make consignments to my first auction, just to help out, just because they're buddies, and that's what this hobby is all about, is the people in it and how good they are to each other, and so that's really what helped me get started, you know. But it's, you know, today it's a competition every day for consignments. So, you know, we just try and do the right thing by our consigners every time. You know, you can never guarantee what something is going to sell for, but I always try and guarantee that they're going to get 100% of my best effort on every lot, and that every item is going to be treated with the respect that it deserves, and you know, hopefully the consignments will continue to come.
All right. So, before we let you go, anything else coming up on the auction that you've got? You know, you can throw a little bone to us. Let us know what's coming down the road.
I just from PSA, I got a beautiful 1919, 1920 Type 1 photo, a portrait photo of Shoeless Joe that just came back from PSA today. It's a beauty. It's a portrait. The photo was taken in 1919 and distributed in 1920 as the Black Sox were being indicted. It was the slug on the back talks about the indictment. So it happened. This photo was distributed in September of 1920. So I think that's a great piece.
That's real.
Relative I will mind on that.
That's a
100th
cool
anniversary.
Piece. Yeah, that's a cool piece. That's a real cool piece. Good.
So,
your website. What else you got? What else you got?
I've got a great Kalamazoo Bats Jim O'Rourke Hall of Famer. That's one of just 3 known. And it's the highest graded example. So that's a monster. That's a huge card for 19th century collectors. It's super rare, and I've got a lot of rare 19th century stuff in this auction. Henry Chadwick cabinet photo. I've got I'm losing my mind. I've got a Mickey Welch Police Gazette cabinet photo. I've got some Yum Yums. I've got it's a pretty solid auction from that standpoint. A lot of 19th century, and I've got a huge assortment this time of PSA graded World Series and All-Star Game tickets dating back all the way to the 1910s, which is pretty great. Tickets are really starting to heat up, I think, as people start to realize how scarce they are.
Your website?
loveofthegameauctions.com.
And when does the auction start again, Al?
Auction will go live around March 25th and closes on April 13th. And we'll have interactive catalogs out there before the auction opens this time, which is great because there's a lot of stuff to look at. We've got somewhere around 1,100 lots in this one, which is one of our bigger auctions. We usually keep them under 1,000 lots.
It's not too late to consign, or are consignments closed?
Consignments are closed for this one. We're already working on consignments for the August auction.
Great. All right, pal. Nice talking to you. Love talking to you. You know that. A nice paisan. We got 3 paisans here: Marino, Crisafulli, and Zappola. And Blasi, 4 paisans. Doesn't get any better than that. All right, Al. Take care.
Take it easy.
All right, guys. Be good.
Louis, while you're getting Brent back on the horn, you want to give us a little eBay music, or is look at this? He's so
ahead
good.
of you.
All right, I have to like edit this now. I want to talk about our good friends at eBay. The Jimmy Fund eBay charity auction ends in a few hours. However, when you're seeing this video, it's already ended. But if you're listening to us right now, you can still bid. How's that? This is your opportunity to buy some of the great memorabilia and help a worthy cause. That is to help wipe out children's cancer. Here are a few of the great items that the auction has to offer. Joe, you can read. Earn your goddamn money right there.
Off guard. I got to put my glasses on to read this. What am I looking at?
How about
the Ted Williams personal fishing rods, donated by the Ted Williams Museum through our great friends at Leland? $160 right now. We will then throw in a free dead trout. I got to read that.
Yeah. Hold on. It goes
is that
with
a
the rod.
dead Mike Trout?
Exactly.
Okay. What else?
Steve Trout.
You got to read.
Steve Trout. Okay, you read the whole thing.
Okay, Tom. Oh, this is me.
Yeah.
If that's not enough, we have a lot of Rico Petrocelli memorabilia. An original newspaper cartoon by famed Boston Herald cartoonist Phil Bissell.
Bissell.
I'm
a New Yorker.
I'm a New Yorker. Signed by
Probably
Rico.
written Bristle.
Brissel.
No, it was B. That's
B.
I.
Oh, okay.
Bissell.
Okay. Signed by Rico along with a 1967 Sox program and baseball, all signed by Rico. We will also throw in a photo of Rico signed.
By me.
By you.
All right.
Well, you signed Rico's name?
I did.
Oh.
And then for you non-sports collectors, how about a signed hockey mask by, and this, Louis is a hockey guy. Louis, why don't you put a bid in for this?
It's not a hockey thing.
A signed hockey mask by Ari Lehman, who played Jason in Friday the 13th. I never saw it, but I hear it's a pretty scary movie. Right now it's at $76, but actually it's about $90 now.
Yeah, it's probably up there.
If you want to take a bid, if you're listening to us on the radio, go to tomzappalamedia.com to check out all of our items. Click on the eBay link and begin bidding.
Checking right now.
Help us stamp out kids' cancer. Do we have to take a break, Lou, or do we have Brent with us?
We have Brent.
Oh, Brent, how are you, bud?
I am here.
Okay. Brent, let's talk about PWCC Capital Services. Can you explain that to our listeners and viewers?
Yeah, so that's a fallout of this vault that we were talking about before. Although capital does lend in other facets, it's the lending arm. It's the lending arm that's tied to these other investment services that we're rolling out. And so the short and skinny of it is that because we're an auction house, because we have the vault, we have access to collateral. And from a lending perspective, that empowers us to, if we trust the value of that collateral, and nobody knows that collateral's value better than us, we can lend against it. And so when it comes to, like, when people submit to our auctions, we can issue cash advances against those submissions to auction. When people buy from us, we have a payment plan, which is generous in that you can buy from us and take up to 90 days to pay. Some of these things are free. Some of these things you have to pay a point a month on. The new biggest thing, though, is that the vault, once the assets from people's portfolios are archived in our vault, those assets are appraised. That's what determines how much insurance value we apply against those assets. Well, we use that same value to then lend against as well. So if you have $10,000 of market value in archive with us, we will afford you essentially a line of credit up to half of that.
Oh, so I was going to ask you that. So it's up to half.
It's something that you have.
So
that's correct.
It's up to half the value of the item, depending on what your credit or what.
We could buy our margin.
No, right. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so we don't have to dig into anyone's financials at all because we have the collateral. It makes it very, very clean. All we need is your assets in stores with us, and then we have to assign value. And based on the availability and return of that value, we'll lend up to half of the conservative market value.
All right, so basically,
and these are for short-term loans. So these are loans that are meant for people who need to do another deal. We charge a point a month for the loan, so you'll pay 1% per month. It'll be either 3 or 6 month terms, and it can roll over after that period of time if you need longer. But this is meant to enable people who do deals to basically have purchasing power because they have assets in trading cards. I think the argument here is that if you're in tangible assets, it could be real estate, it could be fine art, coins, trading cards, whatever. The chances are you have other deals at your fingertips. And we want people, because they chose to invest in trading cards, to feel empowered to do that next deal when it comes up. It doesn't have to necessarily be only in trading cards. I think overwhelmingly that will be the case, but it doesn't have to be. And this way, because you have invested in trading cards, you have purchasing power.
So if you have a $50,000 card or $50,000 card of mine that you're holding, and I have an opportunity to make an investment on something else, I can borrow up to $25,000 on that card, and actually you're going to lend me the money to make that deal. I can purchase whatever I want to purchase. If I want, I can flip it, I can sell it, I have another buyer for it, and make a few bucks and pay you back like nothing.
And what's it's
right,
point?
and the point here for 1 point per month.
That's
and
crazy.
The point here is this: is that I think it's expensive, but that's just what it costs when you're outside of bank lending. It's like when you get into hard money, it's like hard money is 12 to 15%, and when you deal in tangible assets, I mean, it's you're lucky if you're in 15%, 18% range. I mean, credit cards are 15 to 18%. So we're coming in at 12%, which is, I mean, I don't consider that cheap money by any stretch, but for this world,
I agree.
It's very reasonable.
Very reasonable.
Yeah, it's very reasonable. And the point here is that because you're tied to the marketplace, the term default doesn't really apply. If you take out a loan against an asset, well, a lien is now applied against that asset. You do a deal, that deal, goes good, or you need that money to do the next deal, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to repay that loan. Okay, no problem. Don't repay it. We'll just sell the asset for you at auction, and you'll just recoup the funds that way, and we'll pay off your loan that way. And it's totally elegant. There's no problems with that. So you have tons of choice and power, and you're never going to get painted into a corner. We're trying to enable investors to feel empowered, and so that's the point of capital, to make them feel like if they some of these guys will put millions of dollars into this asset class, that they can literally borrow millions of dollars, and we are prepared to write that check.
That's unbelievable.
That's great.
That's a great deal. Great deal.
Brent, do you offer other investment advice to collectors?
Well, so that's a whole other arm of this too, is that we advise people who want to create portfolios in trading cards. It's a free service. We have all of the data, and we have a lot of vision on where the market is headed based on our study of that data. So folks who want to create positions in trading cards, we really want them to feel empowered. We don't want to make people feel like they're shooting in the dark. And so sometimes it's a few consultations. Sometimes I'm interacting with people to review a lot of their decisions. We're happy to, do whatever is asked of us to make people feel like they're, that they're the smartest people in the room, so to speak.
Where do you see the hobby going? You just mentioned that. Is it like coins or the investment-wise? Do you feel that it's going to be stronger, or is it getting stronger now with the Vault and the PSAs and all these other groups?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm bullish and I'm biased. Maybe.
Okay.
I try to not be biased. I mean, I have an engineer's background, and I look at things from a data-driven strategy. What's rational and logical is what prevails. The rationale behind trading cards as an investment is overwhelmingly positive. I was just reading in the Wall Street Journal 2 weeks ago, they were talking about how Sotheby's and Christie's alone did $12 billion in fine art sales at auction last year.
Crazy.
$12 billion. Okay? Trading cards did $300 million. We are so suppressed. The growth potential of trading cards, and I would argue that trading cards are at least 10 times as pervasive as fine art in the eyes of the general public. I mean, our ability to reach new investors is at least 10x what it is in coins or fine art. And the whole reason why we're so small is rooted in things that really aren't inherent to the truth of this market. It's more rooted in stigma and lack of sophistication and lack of tools, lack of, services that investors need. All of that's going to change, and it's going to change within weeks. So as far as an asset class is concerned, we're positioned to usher in what I consider to be, it'll be like fine art from the 70s.
All right,
This is a once in a lifetime.
All right, so to expand on that, in the fine art world, the bulk of the investment, the bulk of the value is in art that is fairly old. Agreed? The Picassos, the Monets, the Da Vinci's, the Rembrandts, all of that good stuff. So with that being said, and based on what you're saying, is the investment and the good investment in cards going to be the pre-war stuff as opposed to the stuff that's out today?
Current.
I think when we cater to the fine art community, which is something I specifically am focused upon, okay, I'm committed to engaging the fine art community and to diversify into trading cards. And I think they will be disproportionately focused upon the older stuff. I think they will be particularly drawn to sets like the T206 set, which I've identified as maybe the premier blue chip entire set in the world. If you were going to collect an entire set, it's the one that I consider to be investment caliber across the board. There aren't very many. Even 33 Gaudis and 52 Tops pale in comparison to how the fine art community seems to view the T206s. So, I mean, there is some exception, but I do think fine art folks are going to want to go after those oldest, rarest pieces because that's most similar to what they're used to investing in. Because in fine art, it's always a one-off. There's only one of everything. But we are catering to mass America, and the power of trading cards is that it is the working man's tangible asset class. This appeases the masses. I've got 20 million people in this country alone that collected cards as a kid. Right. 20 million. That spans the gamut. These are not just fine art collectors. So I think what the future holds will be far diversified beyond what, say, fine art does. And so while I think the fine art community will probably disproportionately focus on the older pieces, we're showing that some of the most dramatic growth is in, the modern era. And I think that through that, we're going to see a diversified investment profile that goes across almost every era and every sport, for that matter, and non-sport. I mean, some of the most exciting investment mediums, I think, are non-sport issues of brands which are every bit as pervasive, like presidential issues, Batman, Superman, celebrity cards, Marilyn Monroe, Charlie Chaplin. These are institutions. Jesse Owens, boxing cards. How do you label Muhammad Ali's brand next to Hank Aaron?
Right.
I don't see much of a difference. Yet Muhammad Ali is pales in comparison in terms of card values. All of that is going to change.
Good stuff, man. Your website, sir?
PWCCmarketplace.com.
PWCCmarketplace.com. His name is Brent Huigens. He is, and I say this all the time, Rico and I say this, he is turning the hobby upside down in a very positive way. Brent, we love you. You bring so much to the hobby. Keep up the great work. We love reading about you in Forbes and the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times and all these great, wonderful. And now we're starting to see quotes by Brent Huigens in Forbes and all these other great newspapers. So congratulations and keep up the great work.
Yeah. Great talking to you, Brent.
All right, we'll talk to you later. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to talk to Josh Leland Evans. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Mint State is a PSA authorized dealer specializing in high-grade vintage sports and non-sport cards. Established in 2002 and in its 18th year of full-time operation, we utilize an extensive network of sellers, collectors, and other dealers for the millions of dollars in collectibles we sell every year. Mint State has assisted with many of the finest collections ever assembled and offers sellers, such as the owners of the Lucky 7 Find, an attractive consignment package in addition to outright purchase. For more information, please visit mintstateinc.com or contact Rick Snyder by email at mintstate@msn.com or by telephone at 630-365-9790. Happy hunting!
When it comes to meeting a budget, Pristine Auction has something for everyone. Jared and his staff at Pristine offer several auction formats, all the way down to a daily auction. Each auction ends nightly with hundreds of lots, and by the way, all daily auctions are offered with no reserve prices. Whether it's cards, signed jerseys, sports, or non-sports memorabilia, Pristine has it all. Pristine Auction is also proud to partner with Hope Sports in Mexico. Our mission is to help those in need. That's Pristine Auction, Pristine. Simply go to pristineauction.com and begin bidding. And don't forget, mention the guys from the Great American Collectibles Show. That's Pristine Auction, meeting your collectible needs.
Let's go! Batter up!
Hi, everyone. This is Rico Petrocelli. JustCollect.com, a leader in the vintage sports card industry, is giving free appraisals on your vintage cards. They'll evaluate your collection for free and let you know the value of it at no cost and no obligation. If you're ready to sell, JustCollect.com will offer you industry-leading prices to buy your card collection. To begin your free baseball card appraisal, visit JustCollect.com or call them at 732-828-2261. That's JustCollect.com for your free vintage card appraisals and top buy prices for your cards. Check out JustCollect.com today.
With record-breaking sales from everything from the white border T206 Honus Wagner for $3.12 million to some great items that support the Jackie Robinson Foundation, Golden Auctions has set the highest standards for the finest in sports cards, autographs, and game-used memorabilia. We're always accepting consignments of high-end premium sports treasures or entire collections. Please register for our next auction and bid now at goldenauctions.com. That's golden with an I. We at Golden Auctions are committed to providing unsurpassed customer service for the discriminating collector. That's exactly why we're the leader in the industry. Visit goldenauctions.com or call 856-767-8550. Remember, Golden Auctions. We don't just break records, we shatter them.
Okay, we are back. Is Mr. Evans in the house? Yay or nay?
Yay, yay, yay.
Where the hell, first of all, there's a couple of things we need to discuss here.
Yeah.
Number one, you're vertical, correct?
At the moment, I'm actually horizontal. I'm semi-horizontal.
You are.
I'm propped up. I'm lying in bed because, that's where you take me.
Well, let me tell you something. With all due respect, you worry the crap out of us. I got to tell you that.
Oh, please, come on.
No, I'm serious. You worry the crap out of us because if you weren't such a big pain in our ass, our life would be non-existent. I'm just telling you.
Listen, wait, you just contradicted yourself.
Go ahead.
Completely in the last two statements.
Welcome to my world.
I do appreciate your concern, but I've had tremendous health issues through the years or the last few years, and I had a kidney transplant, so I have to be careful. And I have no immune system, so basically it's hard for me to get on a plane, or if I go into a crowd, I get sick and it lasts forever. But I still work, 12 hours a day, so I don't, you shouldn't.
Well, let me tell you something. We sorely missed you at our event. And all kidding aside, Josh, Rico and I, we were so excited. But we said, we spoke to your girl there. We spoke to Jordan. I said, look, are you freaking kidding me? His health comes before anything. And we know you were there in spirit, number one. And number two, can't thank you enough for the wonderful donations for the eBay auction, which ends tonight.
That's exciting.
We had a group.
Lot is doing very well.
It is.
And what can I say?
And
direct from the museum.
I know that, and I think we're going to hit our goal of $20,000 to $25,000 for the event, which was
pretty amazing. All from these idiots that are in the hobby. I can't believe that.
You know something? Everybody stepped up to the plate, Josh. But there's something that's bugging me. Your rider. I want to talk about your rider. All right.
My rider.
Your rider.
Oh, the rider.
R-I-D-E-R.
Listen,
Okay.
Listen.
First, go ahead. I want to hear this.
People are not going to know what a rider is. And I did not think that you would know what a rider is.
Of course I know what a rider is. Are you kidding me? When I saw your rider, and you're asking for Jack Daniels, you're asking for a dozen Dunkin' Donuts, honey glazed donuts.
I didn't ask for that. That is untrue. You're making that up. First of all, I don't like donuts. Second of all, I don't drink Jack Daniels. I'm not a big drinker. But I will say, for those who don't understand what a rider is,
when like rock bands come to a facility, or like Celine Dion comes and plays at the Paramount, she has what's called a rider, R-I-D-E-R, and they
Correct.
tell you exactly what they want. And these like very fancy people, sometimes they'll say they want Perrier water chilled at 68 degrees, and they get crazy. It's nuts. 68 is not chilled, so forget that.
But you do realize that, and I believe me, in another life, and Louis knows this, we've done a lot of entertainment, booking big venues.
Who's Louis? I don't even know who Louis is. He
Lou,
doesn't
our
even call me
producer.
anymore.
Lou, our
when I'm not on the
producer.
show, Louis don't call, and I don't like that.
Lou?
Basically, that's my new motto, Louis don't call.
That's my gift to you.
Like Charlie can't surf.
Anyway.
What film is that? Come on, who knows?
Charlie Can't Surf? No idea. No freaking
Wrong.
idea.
Apocalypse Now. Very good. You don't know
All right, listen.
about anything, but you know what a rider is. That's good.
Well, we do know what a rider is, and what we do is you take the rider and you cross out. You say, nope, not acceptable, not happening. That's the way you do it. That's exactly the way you do it.
Led Zeppelin used to have like a pound of pot on it, and like
Exactly.
a ton of cocaine and things like that. It was amazing what they would actually have. I think I read a book, or I saw it on the internet, list of the rider demands that these people made. It was all illegal.
Can I tell you something? This is the God's honest truth.
The Van Halen one is the best.
No. Do you remember, Louis? You may or may not remember this. So, my partner on another radio show, Josh, we booked a big.
Another radio show. What are you like? What are you, Howard Stern?
No. It's just a
someone
regional.
Who sucks. You've got a lot of radio shows.
It's a regional show up in the Boston area. It's Italian based, and we used to book.
What is that? It's Italian based.
It's called.
What, does it have like a nice sauce around it?
You know what it's
like
called?
Nice
It's called the Sicilian Corner. It's an Italian version of Seinfeld.
Oh wow, that's wonderful.
That's what it's called. It's
They
an
make it
Italian
off the
version.
It's an Italian version of Wayne's World, is what it is.
Lou happens to produce that one for us also. But anyway.
That's nice. Louis great.
Yeah,
Even
so
though he
but
doesn't
make a
call
long
me.
story
Don't
short.
try to suck up to me, Josh.
Yeah.
We had Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. If you
No way. I love
Oh
Frankie
yeah.
Valli.
We had Frankie
man.
Valli.
Who introduced Frankie Valli to the Fourth Season? Who was like the first quasi-manager?
I'll tell you what. It was either
Joe Pesci?
Joe Pesci.
Very good.
Danny
You got it.
DeVito.
Right.
I don't
Now-
want to hear. You know what? But I love the guy who was really he's the meat and potatoes of
Joey D.
of that band.
Joey D.
The songwriter. Who is he?
No.
I'll
tell
what the
you.
hell was his name?
Bobby.
Yeah, the bass player. He was the bass player, but he was the band.
Genius.
Yeah. I'll think of his name. But you know that at some point in time,
Oh, my
all
mom
of those,
just walked in. She wants me to eat dinner. But go ahead.
no,
Mom,
forget it.
I'm on the
All
radio.
of those guys,
She should be Italian. That's what my mom
between Frankie Valli, Joe Pesci, what's his name? The guy from
There
the
was another
Rascals.
DeVito.
The guys from the
who's
Rascals.
that? Yeah, another Italian guy. The guy
Yeah,
from
they
the-
were all.
the-
They were,
yeah.
Eddie Briccardi. Those guys were all original. Joey D. Those guys were all together. Joey D. and the Starlighters.
I know. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, that's because you're 104 years old.
No, you know what's interesting? When I first started listening to music, rock music, I learned from the movie American Graffiti. That was the first.
Right. Great.
And I went out and bought the soundtrack. So I basically, was sort of educated on rock and roll, starting in 50s music.
Louis, I'm going to ask you this question. Would Josh be a good guest in the Sicilian Corner?
Better than usual, guess, yes.
Wait, for Sinead O'Connor? I don't like Sinead O'Connor.
I hate my freaking producer. I hate the man. But we got to get him on the Sicilian Corner. He'd be great.
Oh, I would love to do it. I love, Italians and Jews are very much the same.
Oh, no
very
kidding.
similar.
You're
It's all the
kidding?
whole mother thing. That's
First
why my mother came walking in. I had to say, oh, my God, she's coming in to bother me.
Well, the first sex I ever had when I was 18 was with a Jewish girl.
I was going to say something else, but that wasn't very nice.
It'd be the first guest we've had on the
What you should
Sicilian
have said,
Corner
the first
wasn't
sex
on
I
a
ever had
respirator.
with your mother. That's what I would say.
Hey, listen, I know you're
Oh, you're letting that one go by. All right.
I am letting it go by.
All
All right,
okay,
listen,
I'm sorry.
let's talk. We have to at least talk about Leland's for what's going on.
Oh, we're killing it. We just got.
You think? You think?
The deadline was really like last week, but we let some other new stuff come in. We got an amazing collection. A guy named Eddie Rommel, who played for the Philadelphia Athletics. We have a 1939 Hall of Fame inductee ball. The 11 guys that were on the stage, you're talking like Babe Ruth, Honus Wagner, Cy Young, Walter Johnson, all these guys. Amazing ball. Another one sold for about $400,000, $600,000, something like that.
Wow.
But also, we just got a Bobby Orr jersey for your Boston people. That's perfect. We just got one in. We've been working on it for about 10 years.
Game used, signed?
My main man, Jordan, who you know, picked it up last night.
Let me tell you something. That kid is worth his weight in gold.
Don't tell him that.
I'm telling you, Josh, give the kid a raise.
Please.
I'm telling you right now, pay the kid, will you please?
He's on partner track. That guy,
He's an
kid's
intern.
going to be a partner. He's great. 26 years old.
He is. That kid is great. He's personable. He knows his style. Josh, I'm not kidding. I'm seriously.
I know.
The kid is great.
I know when you're bullshitting me. Oh,
All
I
right.
can't say that.
That's okay. He is great. That kid, I love that kid. He's the real deal.
He's great. Fantastic. He listens to me. That's the key.
That's his mistake. All right, listen, I'll let you
go. You bringing Lou along? Is Lou like your protege?
Lou Blasi, I'm his protege. Lou produced.
You forgot his last name. You had another Lou. Lou Reed.
No, Lou
That
Blasi.
would be a very interesting conversation. Name as many Lou's as you can.
We'll do that on Sicilian. That's what we do on the Sicilian
There you
Corner.
go.
All right, I'm on.
All right, listen, I'm going to call you about that because it's a 2-hour show on every Friday where we have a great following.
It's only 2 hours?
You'll have me on for 3 minutes. I know you.
Lou thinks we're on for 8 hours.
Feels like it.
I know that we really wear him down, and he gets very frustrated with my partner, who's his name is Mike Lamazzo. Mike is a maniac, but I love
he's
him.
Italian. I can't believe it.
And we've been on the air for how many years, Louis? 16?
Wow.
104.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah, we've been on the air for 16 years.
Wow.
16 years.
I haven't done anything for 16 years. Well, I've been in a hobby for 40. So.
All right, listen, we'll let you go. Your website, please, sir.
Lelands.com. Great auction coming up. If you have a collection, you really want to know what it's worth. None of these bozo appraisals. I am the actual first true sports appraiser, legitimately in the United States.
Josh Leland Evans is the Lewis and Clark of this hobby. Is that good?
I'm so big that you need two of them.
Hey, listen, all kidding aside, man, we are so glad. You sound good. We were a little concerned. I'm not. Even Lou was concerned. We just want to make sure you're okay.
I don't want to tell you, but I just didn't like the show anymore. I went.
That's okay.
Oh, I have
All
my
right,
other
pal.
radio show. I had to do my other radio show.
Good.
It's called the Jewish Hour.
Yeah,
Jewish
great.
Corner.
You got 4 listeners.
Yeah.
You
No,
and
no.
what's his name? Bibby. Bibby. What's that guy's name? Bibby. What's the guy name in Israel? Bibby. You and Bibby.
Bozo.
Whatever his name is.
Rabino.
What are you,
All right, we
making
love you.
fun of the Jews. You don't hear me saying things negative about the Pope.
What about
everyone's
us
getting nervous.
sometimes?
I had a Sinead O'Connor reference and a Pope reference.
You want to talk about Mussolini? Let's talk about Mussolini.
I love Il Duce. They
Jesus
they
Christ.
dragged him through the street.
And they hung him upside down with his little lady friend.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of that frame, by the way.
Italians don't fool around.
You're right. You're right. All right, Josh, we love you.
Love you too. Take
Take
care.
care, Josh.
You
Bye-bye.
all.
Josh Leland Evans, the best.
Don't forget
He is
about
the best.
Leland.
Yeah. Go away.
Go away.
All right, listen, before we end this charade, let's talk about our good friends at CSA Shows. CSA Shows is proud to present the Chantilly Show being held March 29th, 30th, and 31st at the Dulles Expo Center in Chantilly, Virginia, just minutes from Dulles International Airport. Celebrating over 20 years at the same location, there'll be over 300 dealers exhibiting over 100,000 square feet of space. With both vintage cards and memorabilia as well as modern-day sports treasures, you won't have to look very far for that special card, bat, ball, autograph, Joe. All of the major auction houses and third-party grading companies will be on hand, as well as many athletes and celebrity guests signing autographs and taking photographs with you. That's the Chantilly Show, March 29th. For more information, go to csashows.com, and that's through the 31st. Also, our good friends at Panini. Panini America's Spectra basketball franchise first made a name for itself years ago by taking the company's fabled Optichrome printing technology to the next level with extra thick cards, a bevy of prism-friendly designs and stunning displays. In early May, the bar gets raised again with the release of the 2018-19 Spectra basketball. This is one of their best sellers. Set to arrive in hobby shops across America on May 8th, each hobby box 2018-19 will deliver on average 4 autographs and 1 memorabilia card from every NBA player. The product, once again, will be equipped with a full complement of glamorous parallels and calling card rookie jersey autograph chase. For more information, go to our good friends at PaniniAmerica.net. Panini America is really taking over the industry. I'm going to
Great
make a
thought.
prediction, but I'm not going to make a prediction. But they're going to read between the lines here. They're going to own the entire hobby at some point in time. Right, Louis?
Sure.
Are you drunk?
No, I'm not drunk.
Taking a nap?
No,
we're good. We're
I'm
good.
sober.
All right, listen, Louis, thank you for working through this Facebook chaotic AOC hack, but we got through it, and I'll talk to you Friday.
All right.
With that being said, Joey, we love you. You know that.
Great. Lou,
and
take
to our
care.
listening
See
audience,
you,
sorry
Joe.
for all the inconvenience tonight. Listen to us. Louis you can tape it. Go on Facebook Live, on the Great American Collectibles Show, PSA Radio, PSA. You'll find us. With that being said, we love you guys. Happy collecting.